is Weller because he's had good performances over the 660, 680. It's one thing to acknowledge his strength, but his run here at Sandown going back to late March, I mean, he can still run time, early March I should say, he can still run time over the 595. So I think he's got a pretty good package to have a good impact on this series. What's your take?
Yeah, certainly does. He's another one that you'd like to see roll to the top and dictate from the front. But as I've touched on a couple of times already, there's speed inside and outside in this race. And I'm always sceptical, Jace, of dogs that, and I touched on it with Crutching Tommy in the last race, start number 14 tonight. So really doesn't have that grounding and maturity of some of the top range stayers. So that's a slight negative. No doubt, you know, Kayla Cottrell trained, got raced well at Sandown and had a few 660s and 680s around the bush in preparation. Holds him in good stead for this, you know, debut effort at 700, but just start number 14. It's a bit of an ask, and it'll need to do everything right on box rise to get ahead of the market rivals to fend them off in the home straight.
And he is by Zipping Kelly, where I could be wrong, but I reckon she might have produced Beast Unleashed. Is that right, Nath?
Oh, I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Anyway, we'll see what happens.
We'll leave that for your technology fingers to look throughout the night.
Let's get on track with Corey Smith, and it's great to see the leader of the, I think it's after the last syndicate or some sort of reference to a syndicate that means they party hard, and that is Steve Withers. Here he is with Smithy.
Yeah, I'm with Steve Withers. We were just talking about Gun WA dogs coming over to Victoria and running good races, and Steve's been a part of a couple of those. But Steve, this is a bit of a different one. Started over here in Victoria, goes over to you, and just seemed to find a new lease of life.
Yeah, I'd like to do the same as what she's done in the second half of my life.
What about tonight? The 700 metres, obviously had a bit of a grounding over the 600, running some seriously fast times as well. Had a crack at the 700 and done well there too. Is there a level of confidence that you're bringing into tonight?
I think this is a level up again and away from home, so it's a new testing ground, and hopefully she gets an opportunity out in front to use her assets, which is speed, and we get to answer some questions. Well,
there's not many people that are better at telling us whether you're going to be able to stack up when you go into state. We were just talking about the strength of the staying ranks in WA. They seem pretty strong at the minute.
There's some nice ones over there, and I guess we had a look at the Group 1 Galaxy earlier this year with some good dogs coming over, so there was a little bit of a benchmark to measure up against, and yeah, we'll find out more in a couple of minutes.
Well, good luck. I might grab Kayla Cottrell where she can't run away from me this time, but fade to black, Kayla. Coming into this with a preparation probably over shorter and a career that hasn't been all that long yet, but certainly has plenty of ability.
Yeah, has plenty of ability. This is going to be his biggest task tonight. Obviously hasn't been over the distance, but look, his 680 run at Warragul was very nice, and that is a tough 680. So look, just hopefully he can bring everything in tonight and get a bit of luck, and yeah, we'll soon find out if he can stay.
That 680 at Warragul, you mentioned that is a tough run. Do you think that's a perfect grounding to come into this, keep him a little bit fresh for his first crack at the trip, but still give him the run in the legs?
Yeah, look, I think it was sort of a perfect preparation. He's been out here and had the 3 sections and went very well. So if he can bring that into 9 and just hold on and run towards the line, yeah, I think he's a good chance.
All right, there we go. We've heard from Steve Withers. We've heard from Kayla Cottrell. It's going to be a ripping race, this one. Another intriguing one. I keep saying the word intriguing, but I'm going to keep saying it because the Sandown Cup heats are very intriguing.
Borake Summer is the favourite from box 2, and Nathan Rooney are taking her on with a bolter. Who do you like?
Yeah, I just went with, on an each-way basis, Payback. It was about $20 this morning when I sent the selection through into 11s. Had a little bit of support. I just think might be able to settle just behind the speed. Was quite a good winner over the 595 here at Sandown a couple of weeks ago, running down Werrisbale in 34.03. Had a couple of 660s in between where it's really savaged the line late. So just looking for a bit of an each-way play with Payback, box number 6 here tonight. 2 Boracay Summer in for second. Really solid in the market. Looks a front runner and some really good WA form coming across here. Back to Victoria for the trainer Steve Withers for third, number 4 Fade to Black. Is the up-and-comer of this staying series, but hasn't done nothing wrong in winning 9 from 13 starts to kick off hers career. And then for fourth, I put in number 7 Lady Wilson. Would have preferred an inside draw, but certainly got a ton of upside. 6 each way, 2, 4, 7. My numbers, heat number 3 of the Sandown Cup.
Heat 3, 2 more to progress. Let's get up to Dan.
Only ones under double figures. $11 for Shake and Bake, who won at Warrnambool 2 starts ago. $12 Payback, who won here over the 595 2 starts ago as well. They're all in. First look at the quaddie, third heat of the Sportsbet Sandown Cup. And they're away, and flying out was Boracay Summer, and it landed 2 lengths in front early here over Lady Wilson, and Navarino got a beautiful run across to third. Then Shake and Bake, further back on the outside, Fade to Black, Star Stay, Payback, and Mapunga Infrared is last. Boracay Summer the leader, 3 lengths in front of Lady Wilson, underneath of Navarino, who likes to stay wide. Next Shake and Bake, further back in the field, then to Fade to Black, on the inside Star Stay and Payback, and last was Mapunga Infrared up front, and it's Boracay Summer tackled and passed by Lady Wilson. Lady Wilson roared away, and Lady Wilson into the cup final. Second, Star Stay might have just grabbed Navarino in the last hop for the spot in the final. Fourth, the photo, Boracay Summer, Shake and Bake. Then came Payback and Fade to Black. Mapunga Infrared was last, and the time is 41 and 51. Well, the trial was no fluke last week. Lady Wilson scorched around here over the 595 and goes into the Sandown Cup final with a 41 and 53 gallop tonight. It is 7, 5, 8 and 2. 7, 5, 8 and 2 are the numbers on heat number 3. 6:03.
You want to be hoping for a near rail draw in the final, I think, and if she does, with what she was able to produce there, she's going to be a major player next week. Star Stay in for second. He's a get back, run home type, and he closed off late. Boracay Summer got really tired. Navarino ended up grabbing third with Boracay Summer in for 4 for Greyhound. That was a little bit of a question mark over how strong she was going to be at the concluding stages. The sectionals were really good, but got found wanting late, and Lady Wilson certainly wasn't found wanting late. She was awfully strong in the run to the line and booked her spot in the Sandown Cup next week.
We spoke in the lead up to that race about Lady Wilson, how since she started her career, she's always presented herself as a really fast greyhound, and at some point in time, there's going to be a challenge, an expectation that she transitions to the higher level. Now, she's put her best paw forward in being able to do that. She probably starts a favourite on what we've seen so far from the heats.
Especially if she can draw a near rails draw, like she was able to come out well and get across and get out after Boracay Summer, who was really running some sectionals up front. But I was just really impressed with the run home time, 11:18 from off the speed. She ran through the line and then ran right away from him, into the pen. Ultra impressive. We know she's got the speed. Corey Smith did touch on the 29.25 Wentworth Park win. We touched on the 33.91 exhibition trial here last week over the 595 and up to 700, few 700-metre runs in preparation around the Gardens, held her in good stead with some base fitness for tonight, and she was ultra impressive.
I thought she was gassed in, Lady Wilson. She gets back up on a trot. Gassed as I would be after a run like that. Corey Smith, you're on track.
And with John Galea here, John, I understand she only came down yesterday, but that was a serious performance.
No, she went super, actually. She's desperate for defence. She found it, so she went good.
We were talking pre-race that she has a 29.25 at Wentworth Park over the 500 and plenty of speed, wanted to get to the rail. Whether she could get there or not was the question. She managed to do it, and if she draws inside next week, she's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, we'll hope she can get close to the rail, and she'll be hard to beat, hopefully.
What does her week look like leading up?
I'm not sure what Sam's going to do. He'll be coming down tomorrow or the next day, he said, so I'll leave it up to the boss.
We love it.
I'm only a handler.
Only a handler, he says, but he obviously has the magic hands because he got a serious performance out of Lady Wilson, and she's going to get a very well-deserved drink, and she's going to want that inside draw next Friday night.
And Smithy, just before Lockie Scott ducks off with Star Stay, I might get you when the time is right to have a chat with him, but for Lady Wilson, Nath, what would you do? Would you reckon it's right for her to go home and, say, spend the week in familiar environments, or stick around down here in Melbourne in preparation for a Sandown Cup?
Yeah, well, I was actually surprised that she went home after the trial last week. So I would most probably think that they'll come down, they'll take her home. And going that you've got 8 days, Jace, I think that's the key. It's not like a 5-day backup. It's an 8-day run to next Friday night's final. So I think they'll look after her tonight at home and let her recover, and I reckon she will be back home at Londonderry in the next 48 hours, and Sam can prepare her the way he wants, and then most probably this time next week sends her back down to John, maybe the night before. It seems that she settled in good and she come down yesterday all fine, so I would imagine with the 8-day break she'll go home and then come back next Thursday.
Yep, indeed. And of course, the preference from a box draw point of view will be to get down towards the inside. So fingers crossed for not only fans of Lady Wilson, but of course connections, that she's able to get that draw. Lockie Scott's just getting his photo taken here with Star Stay. We might get on track with Corey Smith now, who's got Lockie Scott, and Star Stay. He's had a great run over the past few months, has Lockie Smithy, and here he is with you after making his way through to a Sandown Cup.
Lockie Scott as well. I get the sense that this is a dog that you thought has always had more ability than what he's been able to show on the racetrack, but tonight he showed it.
Yeah, 100%. He's had heaps of ability. It's been the first sort of time we've had a run at him and been able to put 700s under his belt. Like every time I try to build him up, something's gone wrong and he's missed a couple of months and that. So, yeah, he's just a good dog, just comes from behind and we just watch it. It's good to watch, yeah.
So tell us about the journey with him. Has he always screamed 700-metre dog from day one and you've just wanted to get him to this sort of race, or has it been just a bit hit and miss on the way through?
Yeah, he's a very interesting dog. He's got a few quirks about him, but he's always shown that he'll run distance because his run home times are always exceptional. So, yeah.
And you're in a Group 1 a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, it's been
so it's going to be a nice little 8 days.
Yeah, we've had a good couple of weeks, which has been, we made our first Group 2 and then a Group 1 and then another one. So it's been really good. It's been an awesome last month. So, yeah.
It makes getting up in the morning a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot easier. The hours are worthwhile, yeah. So it's been good.
All right, well, good luck next Friday night and good luck a little bit later tonight as well. Lockie Scott and Star Stay, boys. He's a dog that's got plenty of ability, and if he gets a crack at him next week, look out.
He's through along with Lady Wilson, so 3/4 time of these Sandown Cup heats. And in terms of the finalists that we've gotten so far, of course, Lady Wilson and Star Stay being the most recent two, ahead of Mapunga Surprise, Henry Intention, then Passmark, and also Double Denim. So that's the way 3/4 of the Sandown Cup field looks as we see the closing stages here of Heat 3. And just quickly on Star Stay, Nath, while we've got the chance, pretty big motor, and as Lockie says, might have some quirks, but he's through to a G1.
Yeah, he's got a big motor. He doesn't go a yard early, and he certainly runs through the line. He's most probably screaming out for a marathon, to be honest. He's that type of greyhound. But he's one that I always throw into my wider exotics because he's the star that's out the back just smoking the pipe, so to speak, and then the last 100 when they're knocking up the likes of Boracay,